Here's a question for you. Do you find yourself eating for emotional reasons? Maybe you're stressed or you're angry. How about being lonely or tired? Well, what could you do instead of eating? Joining me now to help with that is fitness expert Jen Zerling. Jen, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
So good to see you. But this is such a huge thing. I always tell people, diet is 90% of the game. And a lot of times they don't realize sometimes that they're eating for all these other reasons.
Right. And a lot of it's all habitual. A lot of people in general, like they've been doing this their whole lives, and over the course of time, now they're at a point where their doctor's saying, hey, you better lose weight or you're gonna die.
Right, and is this something that started, because I know I've done reports all the time about how, people sit in front of the TV and it's this mindless thing that we do when we're kids, right? Is this something that starts when you're little?
Absolutely. I think for the most part, yes. A lot of people learn it as they go. Just people are getting more bored as the days go by, and the problem with that type of stuff when they're eating at night specifically, they didn't eat all day. So I'm finding a lot of times when people find a structure throughout the course of the day of eating small frequent meals, for example, most people don't do that because they're too busy.
Right, busy. That's the biggest complaint. All right, now you have a book. It's called Breaking the Chains of Obesity, 107 Tools.
Yes.
107 is a lot of tools. What's the idea behind that book?
I just kept writing and writing.
Right, I'm like 107, not 100, not 110, 107. I love that.
Isn't 7 a lucky number?
I think it is. But so what's the thinking behind that?
So there's a lot of diet books out there, a lot of exercise books, and what I wanted to do was bridge the gap between the knowing and the doing. And then beyond that, once people actually know how to do it, the question is, what's going to get them to be motivated to do it?
So basically, are you giving people a lifestyle rather than a diet? Because that seems what it is, and I think that's what works.
Absolutely. If you think of the word diet, the word die is in there.
Is in there, right.
And it's like people tell me all the time, they're like, I feel so trapped, I'm going on a diet. And it's short-lived. People don't stay on a diet for long as a result of that because it's too restrictive. The calories for the most part are way too low, so the body goes into a state of starvation, and you can't do that to your body. Your body's going to win in the long run.
You help so many people.
Yes.
What is the big thing that you see pretty much across the board?
The number one thing that works with what I do is I hold people accountable. When you go to the gym, if you just show up and you don't know what to do, perhaps hire a personal trainer, even if it's only for a month, okay? Because what a trainer can do is identify a program that you know how to do, you feel good doing it, you own it, and therefore, for the long run, you're gonna do it.
I mean, if I'm there, and I'm putting the time in, I want to get something out of it.
You're pumping it up, man.
Yeah,
You're saying that.
Well, yeah, but you have to, wouldn't it be terrible if you took the time out of your schedule and you went and you were getting nothing out of it?
Absolutely, and that happens a lot. And a lot of people think, by the way, walking is not exercise. I'm sorry. People tell me all the time, yes, I did exercise 5 times this week, I walked. Well, we're built to walk as human beings, so as long as you could raise your heart rate to 65% of your max, and people are like, well, what does that mean? Ask a trainer. The Carvonian method I use for people who don't want a VO2 max, which is 220 minus your age minus resting heart rate times 65% plus resting heart rate.
Right, there's going to be a quiz on this after the show. But there you go. But all this stuff is in the book. That's the idea.
Yes.
It's information. It's all that stuff. Jen, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to see you.